quick one on my indices, and here's how they're looking so far. This is US 30, and I'm seeing a possible start. So I have my first trend line resistance here, which we broke, and we're currently retesting.
There are some things that matter more than others.
Then the second one here, which I'm seeing as my other possible trend line resistance.
This is the only place I let
especially since you're in this will run to the upside. Now, from what I can see and deduce here is that at this point here, just after the
you don't take the walk around the block, you probably won't do the apple
just
a day.
after this,
you don't do the apple a day, you probably won't consistently start building your library. If you don't build your library, you probably won't make a journal, you won't take pictures, and you won't do this, you won't do wise things with your money, won't do wise things with your time, won't do wise things with your possibilities and relationships, and the first thing you
might have
6 years of that accumulated, and we say you have
push
messed up.
That's this line here, this line.
So the whole key to reversing that process now is to start picking up
might
discipline. Now here's the positive side. Every new discipline
resistance which had turned our resistance, which had turned rather into our support.
That's why action is
now,
so important. The least action,
and we'll have price move from here to there. Based on the fact that we have run ever since we have aggressive, we have an aggressive pull up to the upside. If this was the end of it, then this should have been our breakout. But breakouts you and like this, right? So with the formation of this type of candlesticks, it says a lot. You cannot really comprehend what it's doing altogether. Can't really always get it right, but my analysis tells me that this is a form of a retest is going on here, and we might possibly have price moving from here up to there, completing this
and it starts to erode our
overall.
One of the greatest
another possible trend line
temptations is to just ease up a little bit.
And yeah, that is how we are looking on US data again, which is quite
doing your best starts to erode.
NASDAQ is doing something else.
Instead of doing your best, doing just a little less than your best. Sure enough.
It's looking.
You say, well, it's just going to affect my sales. No,
I said
it's going to affect your consciousness.
On this one,
it's going to affect your philosophy. Now you've begun in the slightest way to affect your own philosophy.
I can only.
Here's the problem with the
it's highly probable that it will come and retest again. If it doesn't retest, it will give us another possible shape around the shape. Possible bounce at this point. Oh my God. Where is this pattern?
You say, well, how can I get back my self-respect? I'm telling you, you don't have to go to 29 classes. All you have to do is start the
I need it to feel, I need it to
now corresponds to your own philosophy. Like I should, I could, and I will. No longer will I let neglect stack up on me. So that
this is another possible side of it. If it doesn't get to this point here, to this line here, and give us another retest, this would be our second retest, considering this off. Another second here. If it doesn't come here, it will bounce off, giving us a straight double bottom from here. Continue going up. It is highly unlikely, although we might break into the channel once again.
And the early return telling you you'll start this process. The
down,
early return will have you
going
so
down
excited you'll commit yourself
from
to
here
this strategy
into the channel and break it in our ascending channel to move further down, which would be something not usual, but a possibility in that regard. Now, that is what I'm looking at. This was definitely a sell, and I saw that it was trying to play games when it got to this point.
Guess how many have actually gone and got this little bit?
Let me use.
Answer: very few. My best guess is 10%.
Here, right at this
Such an easy
point
thing to do.
with this
In
trend.
that last seminar, right, I
In
suggested this
fact,
little
this
book. Number one is easy to find. Number two, it's easy to buy. The most you can
I
pay
was
for it
trying
is
to
$6, $7,
play
$8.
games,
You can
especially
borrow that
for
to your
those that
kids.
are a bit impatient. This was what I can call a faker.
And number three, it's easy
Went
to
out,
read.
there's a
It's
proper
in
moment
story
to
form.
catch
That's why
this
I use it for
also.
teenagers, teaching them
Although
how to
they
be rich by
looked
40,
so
35 if you're
convincingly
extra
like
bright
guys,
much sooner
caught
if you find a
themselves,
unique opportunity.
and it's been moving down.
But if it's easy to find and
Was
easy to
not a good
buy,
moment
and
to
if it's
stay
easy to
in for
read,
sure.
why wouldn't everybody go
Probably
get it?
blown.
We don't
Have enough
know. What
capital
do you know?
as
You
a
don't
boost.
know. I don't know. Nobody
And I'm
knows.
hoping to see it
Here's how
come
profound it
all
is.
the
Some
way.
do and
Yeah,
some
to be able to
don't. Now
complete
here's the
that
numbers.
here.
About
This
10%
remaining part,
do.
this part here.
90% don't or won't. We don't know the mystery of that. And I'm telling you, 10 years from now, those numbers will still be the same. 10% will, 90% won't. The
Looking to
numbers
have
don't
it
change.
come and
Only the faces
fill
change.
this gap here. Where I
You're
put
looking
that
at one of the
cross.
faces.
Put it up
I
to
used to
that
belong to the
point.
90% who couldn't
What
be
I said
bothered
is
even if
that
it was
come
easy.
and bounce off of this
Guess how many people have a library card?
support zone.
Wisdom of the world
If
available.
not,
Transform your life
right
in any value
below
amount you
this
want.
support
By the way,
zone,
how much is a library card in Texas?
come to it again.
Free. Here's what free is.
Overall
Easy. I mean, it can't be
online
any easier than
support, which was
free.
previously
Somebody
over
says, well,
the
would you
trend
bring it by? Well,
of
no, at least you got
going
to go
up.
get it.
This bull run
No.
seems quite aggressive. Can only speculate for now based on my
Wisdom of the world available. Transform
informations.
your life spiritually,
Possibilities I
socially,
have
personally,
shown
economically, and
what are
every
the
other way.
possibilities.
Teach you how to be
There's
rich,
no need to
powerful,
dwell much more
sophisticated, and
deeper
healthy,
than
influential. How many people
these
have a
are the
library card?
possibilities
Answer
that we are seeing.
3%.
Till
95,
next time,
97% couldn't be
let's see
bothered.
how it plays out. Bulls and
Guy
bears,
specializes in happy hour, but he doesn't
Godspeed.
have a card. And the question is, where? So to answer the question of where you want to arrive and the kind of person you want to be, you've got to get serious. So that's point number one. To make your life worthwhile and unique, to go from average to fortune, you've got to get serious. Serious. Life is serious. The future is serious. One ancient novelist said, these are the best of times and these.
That was JIM ROHN, a short piece from JIM ROHN. Now, a quick one on US 30. This is Friday today, and here is how my indices are looking today. So, I was just looking at NASDAQ actually before this chart right here. Now, with US 30, things are not moving as exactly as I had anticipated, but here is something quite interesting here. Let me remove this so that I can tell you what was happening. Okay, this line here was just to show that there was a breakout and confirmation by retest and further upside movement on this on this index right now. The main focus of this is actually what is happening right here in this spot right here. Now with US 30, things have been quite different. They've been moving in a way that I was not really anticipating they actually would. Now I can see that, and as you can clearly see that we had our touch here, our second touch, then this here being our third, right? I just want to focus on this piece here, but I just want you to get a background of how what I'm going to talk about came about. And going much deeper, sorry. Now what's happening here is that I'm actually gonna let me just start on the weekly, and I wanna show you what I'm seeing on the weekly. So on the weekly time frame, I can see, let me just dwell a bit deeper on this. Let me exaggerate this candlestick. So each and every candlestick that you are seeing here, you are seeing one, 2, 3, and 4 candlesticks. These are weekly candlesticks, right? What is happening here with the weekly candlesticks? I can see that price was exaggerated further to the upside, and now it came back again into the channel, meaning that there was a breakout and a break in. With this candlestick here, the weekly candlestick, it has actually been turning red and green, red and green. A couple of minutes ago, it was red, meaning that the what you call this, the current price closed below the open price. Now that it's green, means that the current price is above the open price, right? Now this candlestick simply tells me that there is a very aggressive fight here between buyers and sellers, and a very aggressive fight. What's happening now? Okay, let me just do this. There's an actually aggressive fight between buyers and sellers. Going on to a much lower time frame, I'll go on to the daily, but daily isn't much clear. I'll go into something much clearer. Like actually, I was on 1 hour, I think. 1 hour was a bit clearer. Now, with 1 hour, what I'm seeing is that okay, there was a play around here. Let's just consider it from I need a vertical line actually here. I'm gonna get a vertical line. Here is a vertical line. We are gonna consider it from here going to the right. Consider it from here on this line proceeding to the right, right? Now, what happened here was that okay, price continued shooting up, shooting up, shooting up. As it got to this point, it started to range. My trend line, this overall trend line resistance might not be as accurate because of I'm dwelling much deeper onto a much lower time frame, right? Which is 1 hour, which I'm not usually trading a lot of times. But this is a good model to explain what I'm trying to get across, the point that I'm trying to get across. From here, I can see that this area here, there was a bit of a fight here. This is a place you should never take any trades. But of course, as always, we take different strategies and everything. I do bet that there are people who actually caught trades. But actually, this is a point whereby a lot of us, since that we had picked up that this line here, continuing up to here, is the overall trend line resistance. What do we do at the resistance? We sell, and we just don't sell. We sell aggressively a lot of times. Then price started playing around, in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, until it gained enough momentum to push up. To some people, this might have acted as a fake out, but this was too big of a fake out for a lot of people to even consider it a fake out. It's on a 1 hour time frame. This is quite a huge number of pips, right? From there on, because of there was this aggressive breakout, it usually triggers and traps people on the wrong side before actually turning against them. If ever you happen at this point to scale in, you're gonna go into profits. Then next thing you know, we are all in reds. Everything is red. You can see that by this filling candlesticks here. These are usually classified as filler candlesticks. They are filling the market, the gap that they get created at this point. Now, from there on, it has bounces. There's a bounce here. Okay, let me just highlight it by actually throwing it with the arrowhead pointed upwards. Then there is this bounce here upward, came back down, another bounce upward, came back down, another bounce upward, came back down. To some people, this they consider it a range. This is the range market for some people, right? But again, be aware that it is ranging on top of the overall trendline resistance, which had now turned into a overall trendline support, right? After this breakout. Now, here is the tricky part. because of now we have broken back into the overall trend line channel. Could it be that this whole thing here, let me do this. Could it be that this whole thing here was just a fake out? Let me just sum it up together, maybe on something like 4 hours, if not daily. The daily, let me just consider it on the daily time frame. Considering this a fake out on the daily time frame, maybe perhaps the 4. Right? This was a fake out that had a range in it, just so as to get people on the wrong side as much as possible. Now, because of we have broken back into the channel, I'll go into a much lower time frame, which is 30 minutes. Here is what 30 minutes is looking. Perhaps this is a retest. Let me not completely erase this. I'll use it again. Let me just use it here. Use it. Just pick it up here. Could this be a breakout? No, actually a break in, a retest, further continuation downward. Now that people are on the wrong side of the market, perhaps you never know. But if you consider this an enough confirmation for you to enter sales, it would be a good one to enter now and place your stop loss above. Remember, this is a much lower time frame. Your stop loss shouldn't be that big, right? Then you look for further pushes all the way downwards, right? This is a good sell. Actually, if anything, I would also take sales right here at this point. Bear in mind that I only considered what was happening from this point here all the way to the right. Not anything on the left, not anything this side. Let me just do this. Oh my god, my goodness. I actually considered everything to the right of this black spot that you see here. Right now, we can look for our continuation of sales to the downside, which are not fully confirmed though. We can never really confirm everything at this point. We are at a very critical point. It's always the best to get a good entry spot if you are planning to hold. If you are not planning to hold, consider looking for a good spot again and also lock in your profits. The last thing you want is to be triggered into profits, then triggered out because of a very tight stop loss, and actually have the market go your direction in no time. For as long as we are within the bounds of the overall channel, we are permitted to keep ourselves. But again, let us keep a close eye on it and see how it moves going forward. In bulls and bears, jovial cadence. Godspeed.